Greetings guys, and welcome to the final part of Marrakech or Bust. If you don't know what I'm talking about, join the gang. No, on the screen now is a link to part 1. This is where I decided to go on a crazy route to Marrakech by getting the boat to Belfast first. Then I get snowed in at Gatwick, delays. Anyway, if you fancy watching that nonsense, basically how not to travel, check out the link at the top. And if not, you're just catching up and you've been watching all the episodes, well, thank you very much for that. And this is the final leg. And as you can see, we are wandering around the Premier Inn room at Gatwick. And I think that's one of my favourite treats in the world. It's coming off a really good flight, which you've just seen was a really good flight, and just walking straight into a terminal hotel. Of course, for me, I have to spin my camera around the room, not forgetting the toilet, of course, and then just relaxing and either dozing or just chilling out. And that's exactly what I did. Although I was flying from Heathrow the next day, I waited until the morning and jumped on the megabus. The megabus has a bad rep, but in my opinion it is the best way to get between the two airports, Gatwick and Heathrow. It's a little cheaper than National Express, and I think because megabus does have that rep, it's always quieter. You can always get a seat, always get a double seat. And now we are taking a peek out of the window to remind ourselves that this time about 8 days ago that was covered in snow. And the airport was very, very much in chaos. So, arrived at Heathrow. What's the first thing I do? I post my luggage home. It's cheaper than putting a bag in the hold. There's a post office at Terminal 5. So my holdall is a soft holdall. That goes in a box. Everything else goes in another box. And all I've got is carry-on luggage, which I took over to the Ibis styles. My two favourite budget hotels, if you're interested, is the Ibis Styles, as we have views of the runway, and also the Premier Inn over at T4, because that has runway views and is also walking distance to Myrtle Avenue. But tonight I'd chosen the Ibis Styles, and that was rather excellent. And we had a nice view out the window, which I will leave you with, and a little bit of plane spotting before I headed over to the lounge and my final flight home. After God knows how many flights, buses, trains, taxis, deserts, snowstorms. The list was endless. Anyway, enjoy the planes. I'll see you in the lounge. My final visit to the first class lounge of 2022. So I thought we'd check out their festive offerings. Always a good selection. I do like the British Airways wine cellar, and you just never know what they're going to pull out of it. You know, we've got a 2011 Bordeaux here. I can't find that where I shop. It's stunning. It's great. But I was on my very best behaviour, and actually had a cranberry juice and an orange juice and a I think it was pulled pork sandwich. Everything's pulled these days, isn't it? But that just left me to board my flight. 35 minutes up to Manchester. I was flying in economy, and here is a tip for you. If you are flying in economy or on a low-cost airline, one of the most easiest, bestest ways to make that ride more comfortable is if you can get the whole row to yourself. or if 2 people have the whole row to yourself. You've heard of booking the aisle seat and booking the window seat. The airlines don't like that. Just book a row at the back. No one seems to want one. Don't go for the row right by the toilet. You'll constantly be disturbed. And I'm going to tell you this. My lucky row, my lucky seat is 26F. And so many times have I flown 26F and had the row to myself. There you go. Time to take off. And we are off to Manchester. And so it ends. Manchester Airport. Just got to get the train back to Blackburn. They're on strike tomorrow, so I should be okay. It looks like the train's on time. So that was a bit of fun, wasn't it, ladies and gentlemen? Not sure if I'll play silly buggers like that again. But what am I doing next? Well, January the 17th, we're doing a little bit of a gold card run where I'm going to be flying to Bulgaria, then from Bulgaria to Qatar, and then Qatar to either Bangkok or Singapore. Now, that in theory is a really high point scoring trip. So I'll get 80 points to Bulgaria, 140 to Qatar, and then 140 on. However, Qatar have this habit of offering fairly decent upgrades. So that's what's coming up next. So if you enjoyed this nonsense, please do subscribe to the channel, give it a like, and also if you want something that's slightly more practical and slightly less stupid, wait for the next part of the blog where we try and go and get the old gold card. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, and if you're watching this far, you're a martyr, aren't you, really? Glutton for punishment, as they say. Anyway, thanks very much, and I'll see you in the next one.